Hi, Thomas Miller here, the host of the Subconscious Mind Mastery podcast on iTunes and the website of the same name, and also the narrator of Fred Dodson's audiobooks that you can get on Audible and on iTunes. I wanted to introduce you to a book called Success Attracts Success. Now, this is a book where Fred took a lot of the same type of success-oriented material that you might find in other places, but brought it into his world of reality creation, manifestation, the law of attraction, the law of higher self and the higher realm. And this little snippet that I wanted to play for you takes several of the character qualities that you need for success. This is an excerpt from Chapter 4. And particularly in today's environment where there are so many platforms and so many opportunities, listen to the last point of this section, because that's the one that I think is key to success today.
There's no, quote, secret to success. This section contains all of the shiny golden keys to success. Everyone intuitively knows what success is and how to have it, but few will actually do what it takes. Surround yourself with success. What happens outside is a reflection of what's happening inside. To attract something into your life, you first have to feel it. If you can't feel it, you have no experience of it. I like to say, if you want to have it, you first need to have it. As frustrating as that is to some, it's true. You attract more of what you already are into your life. That's why, if it's money that you lack, you should be carrying around $1,000 in cash in your wallet at all times. And if you can't feel something, you can try imagining or verbalizing it until you feel it. Often, fantasizing about something isn't really feeling it, but rather feeling its lack. As in, well, I fantasize about it because I can't have it. If you fantasize properly, then you can feel it and attract it. But if you have a weak imagination, then you have to be in the vicinity of it, to be close and familiar with it every day. You literally have to become what you want, to be what you want. If you want to be pretty and healthy, then surround yourself with beauty and health. Touch it, smell it, handle it, dress like it, be in its presence. Of course, you shouldn't spend more time in a hospital than you have to, especially if you're not that sick, simply because it's the neighborhood of illness, not health. If you're surrounded by negative people all the time, then be sure to put your attention on nice things every day. A nice book, a nice movie, nice thoughts, nice people, just to balance things out. Be committed as if nothing else matters. If you have a goal that's important to you, dedicate yourself to it as if nothing else mattered. Invest love into what you do as if it were the last thing you'll ever do. Of course, how you do a job matters more than what the job is. All human beings go through the same lessons and experiences throughout a lifetime. Nobody can escape the human experience, which includes ups and downs for everyone. Nobody is spared, no matter how things look from the outside. Who you are in response to the events of your life matters more than the events themselves. The world is, in general, rigged against the success of the common person. Honest people admit they would like unlimited abundance. Yet, we hear that unlimited abundance is unsocial, unchristian, unfriendly, immodest, and unspiritual. In reality, most people do the following with increased abundance. They feel more secure, and they provide for their loved ones. Give up your negative definitions and befriend money. Study it, build a relationship with it, and drop any victim attitude that you've created. Money comes to people who feel good about themselves. Don't settle for just dreaming. Dreaming is important, but not enough. Become the producer, director, writer, and actor in your mind, and continually view the movie of your dream, 3D and in color. Just as gravity pulls the apple from the tree, so does the law of attraction pull that which you visualize, without attachment, to you. If you do this properly, you can have almost anything. From what you imagine, you must act. Act from completeness rather than acting to gain completeness. Act as if someone fulfilled rather than acting to become fulfilled. Reality is a delayed reaction to consciousness. Every time you realize that, your life gets right back on track. You may forget it often because the mind isn't rooted in higher spheres, so it's important to remember it just as often. Be a trailblazer. A trailblazer lays new tracks through wild country. Trailblazers are rare. The rest of us look for tracks already laid, something to follow. We don't pioneer or break new paths. We take existing paths. We aren't groundbreakers or innovators, but we stand on the ground already broken by the trailblazers. We're not masterminds, conceivers, or originators. We consume what others have created. To achieve major success, though, some trailblazing is required. If you only tread ground already trodden, you become part of the downtrodden. If you can make the kind of music the world has never heard, create a product that's never existed before, or do something that has never been done before, then you're a trailblazer. Laying new ground is rare because it requires a high degree of energy and courage. When I first sent my book Parallel Universes of Self to publishers back in 2006, they asked me, "Which books can we compare this to?" That was a problem. I didn't know which books to compare it to because I was trailblazing. In 2006, there was no book that related parallel universes theory to self-improvement practice. Now, nearly a decade later, there are numerous books that do, but there had to be an initiator and initiation to lay the ground on which other things could be built. Everyone has something unique about them that they can contribute to the planet so they can live respected and die regretted. You can increase your own trailblazing abilities even on a small scale by asking yourself what your unique contribution to the planet Earth is. Why am I here? What is my unique purpose in life? What do I see about X that nobody else does? What can only I give to this job? These are all particularly useful questions in this regard. A trailblazer often sees and does things very differently than what everyone would recommend. When you hear the phrase, "but everyone's doing it," that's often, not always, good advice not to do it. If you do what almost everyone does, you'll end up where almost everyone is. And where are most people? Wallowing in mediocrity. Genuine power is at the small tip of the pyramid and beyond what the majority deems to be right. In the Middle Ages, the majority thought it was right to burn people at the stake. In ancient Rome, the majority thought it was entertainment to watch animals eat prisoners. Today, the majority thinks that the complete erosion of privacy through the internet is acceptable. I wouldn't give much credence to what the majority thinks. Trailblazers have a high degree of personal energy to begin with, but their energy is increased after their trailblazing through those who follow them and what those followers build on the tracks that they laid. Society doesn't always reward originality. Societal inertia leads to conformity and fitting in. People are terrified of standing out, being noticed, being different, and being better. Of course, there's a big difference between people desperate for public attention that stand out and behave as ostentatiously as possible versus those who quietly stand out through talent and merit, such as trailblazers.
Success attracts success. You know, what we put out, we get back. We always have this little antenna up on our heads, and what we're putting out, we get back. So when we finally get to that point where we are putting out success, then by the universal principles, success has to come back to us. And that's the beauty and the message of this book. And if you'd like to see all of the books from Fred Dodson that are on audio, well, here's the list. Thank you again for watching and for listening.